Technology has been a part of our day-to-day life. It has been encrypted in our way of living. You might find it difficult to think about a day where you are not using any forms of technology. We are in the age where people have massive reliance to computer-powered device. And in this age, access to information and basic necessities and services shift to digitalization and the use of the different information and communication technologies. In this lesson, we are going to create an understanding of ICT in the context of global community. Compare and contrast the differences between online platforms, sites, and content. Understand the features of Web 2. Understand the future of World Wide Web through Web 3. And learn the different trends in ICT. Empowerment technology is about the different information communication technologies which serve as tools for curating, contextualizing, collaborating, and creating content and experiences. Technology empowers people to connect, to learn, to create, to disclose information, and discover new experiences. Empowerment because it enables not just the people who use the technologies, but as well as the technology itself. And the future of these technologies that we have today depends on how we empower the consumer of these technologies. Let's begin our lesson by reintroducing ourselves to the definition and some concepts related to information and communication technology. To define information communication technology or ICT, these are the technological tools and resources that are used to communicate, create, disseminate, store, and manage information. It also refers to the use of the different communication technologies such as mobile phones, telephones, internet, and other digital devices to locate, save, and edit information as well as to share information. According to the Research Council of Norway, so ICT includes hardware, software, and netware as well as institutional, financial, cultural, and application-related parameters that determine how ICTs will be shaped and developed by society at large. So what this means is that ICT includes all the hardwares. So for example, the computers, cell phones, we have projectors, televisions, mouse, printers. So hardwares are the tangible digital device or modern device. While software, these are the application program we install in our phones and laptops, in our computers, to make use or to maximize the use of our technology. So for example, we have here um, Adobe Acrobat. This is an application. This is a software for reading PDF files. We have Office, a productivity tool for creating maybe documents, presentations, or creating spreadsheets. We also have browsers such as Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome and other installed applications. So these are the software. So these are the intangible technology. So it also includes the netware. So when we say netware, these are applications available online. So such of these applications are the applications provided by Google Suites. For example, we have here PDF viewer, so provided by Google Chrome. We also have Google Forms. So these are applications that available only online. So we also have slides, Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets. So ano, a counterpart of Microsoft Office, as well as other netwares. It also includes institutional, financial, cultural, and application-related parameters that determine how ICTs will be shaped and developed by society at large. So remember, class, that that culture within a society can affect how technology is developed. So what this means is that the technology advances based on the needs and wants of the society. So the technology affects how society works, how society deal with things, and at the same time, society also affects how technology advances. So based on the needs of the society, the technology will advance or will evolve. So a great example is the online selling. We have Peddler, we have Panda, Food Panda, we have Grab Food, and we have many other online selling sites and platforms. Because during the pandemic, for example, the people or the business owners were affected because they were not able to sell those to sell their products face to face due to the limitations and restrictions. So to deal with the situations, so they need to find ways how to sell their products. So one way is to sell it online, so by using the different platforms. So different platforms were provided to aid these business owners, and as well as other purposes. So there are three components of ICT. So we have information, communication, technology, and these are the definitions. When we say information, this refers to the knowledge obtained from reading, investigation, study, or research. Communication is a process whereby information is exchanged, while technology is the use of all the scientific advancement, the knowledge, experience, and resources to create processes and products that fulfill human needs. So information is a component of ICT because after all, the goal of ICT is for information to be freely exchanged to other people. So ICT is developed in order to make information more accessible to different groups of people. Second is communication. So after creating, for example, a content, so you need to disseminate, you need to communicate your content. You need audiences in order to view your content. So communication, because it enables people to disseminate and disclose information to the public and connect to the different sides of the globe. So today we have different technologies that allows us to communicate. So not just by literally communicating through chatting or through video conferencing, but as well as to communicate our, for example, findings in research. For example, we have Google Scholars for peer-reviewed articles and researches. So we have blog sites, so where we can express, so we can write what we know. For example, you want to write about yourself, or you want to write about photography. So you can you can create content and then upload it. Especially today, we have the World Wide Web, we have online, we are connected online, we can disseminate information very fast. So the technology ICTs becomes a platform, or the platform to convey a message or advocacies, and is able to reach massive audiences. So it also includes technology as its components because it makes use of the different scientific and technological advancement as its medium in gathering, creating, and sharing information and content. So this the computers, the phones, the smartphones, the internet are all products of technological advancement. The use of ICT is very important because now it is not just something that we want, but something that we need in order to fulfill some of our duties in society. So I have here some notes. Sabi dito, technology is already integrated in the different sectors and industries. So technology, for example, before, if having a computer, if having laptops and phones are luxury, today it is a necessity. For example, students today in our country needs laptops or phones in order to connect with their schools, with their teachers, because we are conducting online classes. So we do not have yet um, face to face, so they need to have a means to communicate with their teacher and school. Information age, so today we're still in information age. The demand for a workforce that is equipped with the 21st century skills is higher. So mastering some skills in technology literacy helps not just to fulfill our wants of becoming literate, but as well as to function in society. So technology literacy, and being technology literate is one of the 21st century skills, and um, acquiring or having this skill gives you an advantage. So these people who have mastered or possess these 21st century skills have higher opportunities of getting the job or being hired in some of the industries. Here are some of the uses of ICT. So why we use ICT? So first, it expands access. So access to information. So before, we were limited to what the library gives us. We were limited to the books and to the materials that are present only within our reach, within our community. But today, with the use of internet, so our online communication, with the use of the internet, we were able to access much greater information coming from various resources, so coming from different countries, for example. Also, it expands access not just to information but as well as to different services. So second is it promotes efficiency. So for example, how many papers and inks have you wasted by writing your outputs or writing your projects by hand? So today we can use the different online, or we can use the different softwares or productivity tools, which makes our work much easier. So we avoid wasting papers and ink. So by allowing us to edit our works, to edit our outputs and printing it after we were sure that it is perfect. Also, it promotes efficiency when it comes to collaborating with people. So you're not just limited to yourself, but you are also able to collaborate with other people in dealing or in creating some products or projects. Of course, it improves the quality of learning and enhance the quality of teaching. So you, in the traditional or conventional way, or before the advent of using technology, modern technology inside the classroom, we are limited with using books. So books are not bad. So it is actually good to read books. However, there are limitations. So in books, we were not able to see some demonstrations or simulations, for example. But with the use of modern technologies, with the use of ICT, we were able to visualize some of the, for example, in science, we were able to visualize the digestive system, how it works, how it functions, photosynthesis, or we were able to virtually tour some places which before is not possible because we are limited. So the ICT allows us to enrich the learning experience, so by providing us videos, images, and other resources in different format. So also enhance the quality of teaching, because today we are using different technologies to present our lesson or to present the different topics to the public or to the students. It improved management system. So for example, learning management system using Google Docs, and for others, for example, using the spreadsheets for inventories, or for as a database, means of database of information. So it also serves as medium of interaction or dialogue. So using the different video conferencing and chatting platforms such as Viber or Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, FB Messenger, and as well as the short messaging and calls. It is a medium of transit of knowledge. So technology, or the modern technology, allows us to translate our knowledge by, for example, creating content online. So in our blog site, or in creating a video and uploading it to YouTube. And those content reaches massive audiences. So the audience were able to view and learn from our content. So our knowledge were able to reach many audiences. And as well as source of information. So let us now talk about how ICT is seen in our country. So how ICT works in the Philippines. So ICT helps in boosting the economy of a country. So actually, it really helps boosting the economy of the Philippines. So here I have here some information. I'll just read it to you. Wait. So since the 1980s, unemployment rate stayed between 8 to 11% in the Philippines. So, but with the rise of BPO companies, or the business process outsourcing, such as Convergys Philippines and Accenture. So we also have here in Legazpi, the Sutherland and Innodata. The domestic economy of the country increased, so leading to a creation of thousands of job opportunities. So ICT places, this technology BPO, or business process outsourcing, places 19.3% of the total employment population. So in our country. So this is way back 2016. So this information is way back 2016. So not so updated itong presentation ko. But to give you an insight on how ICT affects the industry, or the economy of our country. So this is a figure to show to you that ICT places 19.3% of the total employment population. So not just in business process outsourcing. So ICT also pave way to freelancing industries. So freelance is a job opportunity where a person works for themselves rather than work for a company. So meaning you own your time. So these freelance industries are for those people who want to sell their skills. For example, you are good at creating or editing videos, or editing images, or photo manipulation. You are good at designing cards or invitations, or for online advertising, marketing, as well as digital arts or graphic design. So you can sell your talent by looking for clients in some of these online platforms for freelancers. So freelance industries created a demand for flexible co-working space. According to a 2019 report by Pioneer on the Global Gig Economy Index, the Philippines placed 6th in the world as the fastest growing market for the gig industry, revealing a 35% growth in freelance earnings. So this platform, online freelancing platforms, also paves way for creating new job opportunities for freelancers, contributing to the economy of the Philippines, or of our country. So the Philippines is one of the fastest growing market when it comes to freelance industries. So driven by digital technology and high internet penetration, more Filipinos are choosing to freelance. So according to PayPal's 2018 Global Freelancer Insights report, at least 2% of the Philippines population is said to be freelancers. So meaning, if we have 111 million Filipino people, so 2% of 111, so about 2 million or more Filipinos are freelancing. So maybe full-time freelancer, or maybe just for extra income. So an example of a freelancing platform is Fiverr. So this is an online platform that supports freelancers. So it is a platform where people who are good at arts and designs and marketing skills and different skills, where individual co-work with individual talents in creating content such as arts, designs, and videos. So puntahan natin. So let's go to fiverr.com. Let's visit fiverr.com. So let's explore what are the different things you can offer. Or if you have the talent, if you have the skill, you can visit fiverr.com or create an account and then do some gigs. So they call the project gigs. So here, for example, you can sell logo designs. So now we have the non-fungible tokens, art and brand style guides if you're good at illustration or different stuff. So ito, t-shirt and merchandise. If you're good at creating animation, or yan, logo animation, or for example, editing videos, creating videos and music. So let's see some example. For example, so here, for example here, so let's see their work. So this one, for example, if you can create, if you have the talent in creating products like this, you can sell your talent, your skills. So you can create an account in this platform or in other freelancing platforms and earn from your talent. And of course, ICT has a great impact in the education sector. So today, during before the pandemic, we are already integrating technology inside the classroom, but not as much as what we do today. So before, we use video presentations, we use computers, projectors, and sounds in our presentation of lessons or in learning. But today we're using different online platforms such as different learning management systems in Google Classroom. We are also using video conferencing platforms such as Google Meet, Zoom, and as well as FB Messenger and different technologies. So ICT in education, so putting ICT into context, one of its application is evident in the learning space, so where education integrates technology in teaching and outsourcing information. So in these days, many people felt how technology is a great part in connecting the teachers and the learners, how different platforms offer services to bridge the lack of means for distance learning. So electronic devices were used such as TVs, radios, to reach students who are not able to afford to go to school. So ICT device plays an important role of delivering the different contents to the learners. Massive online open resources, different websites, social medias, and others were used to cater the need for education. So online classes especially. These are just some of the examples. And of course, we know that Filipinos are massive consumer of different social media sites. So on the Digital 2020 Global Overview Report, the Philippines kept its title as the social media capital of the world. And the same as with the latest statistics, the digital 2021 global overview report. So it also states that Philippines is the top consumer of social media sites, especially on the use of Facebook. So Philippines is a top consumer when it comes to social media usage. So in fact, the average time spent by the Filipinos just by using different social media sites is about 4 to 5 hours per day. So imagine we are rendering 4 to 5 hours of our life every day in social media alone. So how about other websites? So in 2013, so two cities from our country, so Makati and Quezon City, was recognized as the selfiest cities around the world because Filipinos love uploading images, taking selfies, uploading images, and sharing it in the different platforms, social media platforms such as Instagram. So today, short videos in YouTube and in TikTok are also what do we call this? It is also very popular today. So Filipinos are also considered as one of the top users of media sharing sites such as YouTube and Instagram. And of course, not just the online technologies, but as well as those short messaging services or SMS, the text message. So the Philippines is hailed as the texting capital of the world due to the large volume of short messaging systems or short messaging services sent. So in fact, according to the report, Filipinos on the average sent 400 million a day, 400 million SMS a day. So that's very massive number. Okay, so these are just some of the impacts of ICT in our countries, in our society. So you might find some other evidence on how ICT impacts not just the economy but as well as the behavior and the norms of the society. So so let me just um, open. So here is your first activity. Activity number 1, ICT in my community. So direction, conduct a simple video interview of at least 2 individuals, so professionals, civilians, students, using the following guide questions. So here are the guide questions. So provide an audio or the video recording of the interview to support your presentation. So you will present this next Friday, because we already conducted synchronous class last Tuesday. So next Friday, we're going to have a synchronous meeting for the presentations of your output. So I will send to you the groupings for this activity. So here are this is not guide question. So these are basic information. So basic info. Interview. Okay, so you need to provide the name or business school, office address, nature of work, or if student, just state their student, or if not employed, and the date of your interview. So you can interview your parents, for example, or your friend. You can do online interviews if you want. So just answer this one. So just include the basic information of your interviewee, and then these are the guide questions. So are you using ICT device? So how does ICT affect your life? In your own experience, what are the advantages of using ICT, and what are the negative effects or disadvantages of using ICT? So these are the questions you need to ask to your interviewees, and then of course in your presentation, you need to include their answers. You need to show to the class the answers of your interviewees. And then, create a conclusion about what you learned from your interview. So, based on the answers of your interviewees, is ICT a want or a need of the society? So if you have any question, class, you can send me a message in Messenger. So that's all for this lesson. So see you in our next video.